Hello there, I'm Francisco. This is my first vlog. I hope it's not too long. I have no idea how long this will be. I don't want to do any edits because I'm lazy and I'm just doing this for fun, and I don't want to do so much, to put so much work into this. But there are some thoughts that I wanted to share with you. I'm now in Krefeld Stadtwald. It's a very beautiful park near my home in Germany. It's quite a nice park. I come here when I want to relax or just do nothing. And there are some thoughts that I would like to share with you on the internet, because a very interesting situation happened to me. I was giving lesson to one of my students, and the student wanted to learn like a very folk song, folk song, let's say, and he was like almost feeling ashamed for it, you know, because it was like very popular music, and he was like, "Oh, you don't like this kind of music, do you?" And I said, "No, it's no problem. I teach you. It's okay. I don't mind. It's no problem." And he's like, "Oh, but it's not the kind of music you usually listen to." And he's like, "No, it's true. I don't actually listen to this kind of music, but I mean, to teach, I can teach anything. It just doesn't matter. Music is music, and A minor is A minor. Doesn't matter if it's Mozart or a pop song, you know." But then he said, "But you don't hate this, do you?" And I said, "No, I don't hate music. I love music, and I actually meant it." And I was thinking, why is this guy like apologizing to me, you know, for liking something? And that is a very interesting question, because I studied classical music, and throughout all my education I had many friends and colleagues and teachers, and people, like, they try to put genres of music into an hierarchy, like this genre is better than this genre, then better this genre. Like, there is classical music, then there's jazz, and there's like popular music, and there's, yeah, and they do this kind of hierarchization. This style is better than this style, and so on and so forth. And I listened to this all my life, you know, and people like discussing what is good and what is bad music. And being a composer myself, of course, I want to write good music. But usually, like, the definition that people say of good music is usually the music they like. So if I like this, it's good. It's good. If I don't like it, it's bad. And for me, and there's the other opposite, the extreme opposite, which is there are some kinds of rules that music should have, and if music doesn't follow these rules, then it's proven to be bad. Like, I have like millions and hundreds and gazillions of musical friends that try to evaluate music by the amount of chords that the music has. Like, if this has 4 chords, then it's for sure bad music. If this has 25 chords, it's for sure very good. And it's like these kinds of theories are they just don't withstand the test of time, you know, because it's just not like how music works. Music doesn't work like that, and art doesn't work like that. I mean, you can have a very simple painting, only one color, can be awesome. You can have music with 200 chords and be awesome, and you can have music with 200 chords and be shit, you know. And the same with 4 chords. And this discussion is very interesting to me, because now I've been researching more about music for film and music for media, like music that people use in trailers, music that people use in films and video games. And sometimes we are forced to write a specific genre. It's like the trailer asks for a blues, or it asks for like a very uplifting song that makes people happy, so they buy the product. you know, and we as composers have to deliver that. And it's very fascinating because, of course, by the academia, this is called shitty music, and I understand why it's called like that, because we are not putting like our self in the our emotions at the core. We are just trying to do something with an objective, with a purpose in mind. But the more I think about this, I reach the conclusion that all music has a purpose. It's like even if you write it with no purpose, it's like, I just want to feel, I just wrote this song because I was feeling this, you know? It's fine. You had no purpose in it other just to express yourself. Awesome. But from the point on that the music is on the market, let's say, that you have to share with others your music, or that you want people to follow you or listen to your music or buy your music, then from that point on you already have a purpose. And that purpose can vary depending on the style, you know. And this is quite interesting because I have friends who love dancing, and when they dance, they listen to specific kinds of songs to dance, you know. And these are songs that they listen for dancing. And they want to dance salsa, so they need a salsa tune, a good salsa tune. They want a flamenco, to dance flamenco or whatever, they need a good flamenco song. And it's that is a purpose. It's music meant for a purpose. It's meant for dancing. And now you say, oh, what about a symphony by Mozart or Beethoven? It also has a purpose. It has the purpose of pleasing the king, the high class that paid for the music. And I mean, when Beethoven dedicates his symphonies to the emperor, or to the king or whatever, I mean, he's doing his purpose, which is making music that the king will like. And this music is, let's say, quite high quality because the elite is paying for it, and usually it's music meant for an audience. So when Beethoven wrote it, or when Mozart wrote it, they wrote it for a very educated audience that already had music theory ingrained in them, and they had music education, and then they came the Italian composers with the opera who make up a story and they write easier harmonies, and then they are doing music not so much for the elite, and at the point they do this, they are immediately criticized for downgrading their music because their music is not up to the highest standards anymore. And I understand that criticism, but now then you have like jazz, which started as a very popular style of music. The birth of jazz is really popular, but then it got so studied and so analyzed, and it developed so much that now it's considered almost elite music, jazz. And not many people listen to jazz nowadays, even though it was the thing. It was the thing. Like Liszt, when he played the Rhapsodies, he was the thing. He was the Beatles of the time. And you constantly see like music evolving, becoming, let's say, more diluted throughout the time, because it's becoming more diluted because it's going to more people. Because who could afford a ticket for Liszt's concert? Only the bourgeoisie, only the high class could afford a ticket for Liszt. So if you want to go to people who cannot afford this kind of tickets, you have to like downgrade your music, you have to dilute it a little bit. Let's say to go for this goal of going for this market, let's say, talking in a more capitalistic sense. It's quite fascinating stuff. It's quite fascinating stuff, and I have this this fascination of researching about music and learning about all the chords and all the theory, like the theory of flamenco, the theory of blues, and now being more as a media composer nowadays, you have to write like everything, and I find that super fascinating because I love this. I love the ability that one must have to create all kinds of music, because that requires like a deep understanding of the style and of music itself. I mean, I can write a blues. I mean, I'm not a blues artist, but if you ask me to write a blues, I can write a blues. It may not be the best blues, but it's good enough. It's good enough that people will listen and will enjoy it, I think. For me, this makes me feel powerful. Let's say that I can write anything, because when I started my composition lessons, we had to imitate Bach, we had to imitate Mozart and these kinds of composers. I did a lot of Renaissance counterpoint. I did a lot of Bach chorales, exercises where we had to copy. So now I'm quite good at copying Bach because I did it a lot. And so it's a technique. There are techniques that you learn, and I feel immense power when I say, "Oh, write me electronic hip-hop beat." Okay, I cannot write it now because I didn't research into it, but I know I have the ability. I can research into hip-hop. I listen to 20 hip-hop CDs and analyze the songs, and in 2 months I write a hip-hop tune. And I find pleasure in that, actually. I find really a pleasure in that, this ability that makes me feel really powerful, being able to write anything. And now I know what you're thinking now. You're thinking, what about your self-expression? What about your true self? And I have no idea what is my true self, because people change, and I changed, and everyone changes, and the more music you listen to, you change, and I learn more. The more, let's say, I research about the hip-hop tune, I learn about their techniques, and their techniques can be useful in the future for my music, because I noticed that even when I write complex orchestral music, not media music, concert music, when I write this kind of highly complex music that takes me a lot of months to write, I use some techniques I learned in pop songs. Like, you'll never notice it because the style is different, but like in abstract, like the narrative and some stuff, I actually use stuff that I learned from pop, and I like that. I really like that, and I think it just adds to you. You know, it just. I know there is this view that you have to find your true personality, and if you are influenced by other things, or if you try to copy, a hip-hop tune, or you are just selling out, you are not doing your true vocation, your true self. And I'm like, I mean, is my true vocation only sticking to classical music and only learning from that? It's like, you could learn so much more if you opened your ears, to other genres and other styles. I mean, it's like a dancer who only dances salsa. I mean, of course, salsa is amazing. You can dance salsa, be the salsa master, and I see no problem in that. But my life, or your life, can be richer if you can dance salsa, if you can dance bachata, if you can dance contemporary. I mean, and then you are the dance god, if you are able to to go with everything and know about dance in such an intimate way that you don't even distinguish from genre anymore. It's just dance, you know. And for me now, this also relates to sound design, because I've been writing music now for video games, and sometimes I also have to do the sound design for the video games. And the sound design is actually not music. I mean, it's like this border, like you have a gun that makes a sound, and you have to design the sound of the gun. This goes into much broader, because it's just not about genre, and it's not just about music, it's about sound, which arrives to the conclusion that the greatest composers of the 20th century that everyone hates, like John Cage and Stockhausen and Boulez, they reach that conclusion that it's just sound, you know, it's all sound. And when you get to a certain point that you research and know about sound, you make no, like now I make no distinction between genres, because it's just music. It's A minor in Mozart and A minor in pop song, doesn't matter, because like the building blocks, the DNA is the same. It's like looking at the DNA of a person and a monkey, and it's like 90-something% similar. Of course, if you look outside, a monkey and a person is completely different. But if you look inside, like the DNA, it's like 90% similar, you know. And with music is exactly the same thing. And if you go one step further, which is you just analyze sound, like sound of the street, sound of the birds, and that's what sound design people do. They see sound as sound itself, you know. They find beauty in sound, you know. And sometimes there are composers who write pieces just with this in mind, that they are just sounds, and people say, ah, this is not music, you know, and they criticize. And these avant-garde composers are doing shitty stuff, and I understand that people say that, but it's just another level. It's another level that we don't discriminate anymore. It's like there's room for everything, you know. There's room for everything, and if you want to dance salsa, you can dance salsa, and that has a mood and has a feeling into it. The same way, like a 1 hour Mahler symphony, you know, it has a mood and a feeling into it. It's like if you want to go really deep into your soul and just cry and just be 1 hour like sitting in a concert hall without making a single noise and listen to a Mahler symphony, for me it's like it's emotional, it's overwhelming experience. For other person, it's boring. But why is it boring? It's boring because that person wants to dance or wants to move, and Mahler is not about dancing or moving. So you have to change a bit the ship, your expectations, your ship. You know, if I go to a Mahler symphony expecting to leave like uplifting and happy with my life, no, it's like, no, it's not what Mahler is about. Mahler is about going out 1 hour after a concert. Is like, I'm not the same person anymore. I've been transformed, you know. This like is so beautiful, and you cry and stuff. And there's also like the typical pop song, you know. I broke up with my boyfriend or my girlfriend, and now I'm mad at them, and I make a pop song, and it's fine. It's superficial, yes, but it's meant to be superficial. Like the purpose is to be superficial. And so if you say, ah, this is shit because it's superficial, it's like you're saying I mean, that's the point. That's the point. It's being superficial, and some people relate to that stuff, to that superficiality. And sometimes, you know, you just, I don't know, are drunk and you listen to a pop song talking about boyfriend or girlfriend, you just cry. You just cry in a different way than you cry with a Mahler symphony, but you cry also. You cry, let's say, in a more, I don't know, more superficial way, I don't know. I know for some people that kind of music is not superficial. So I may be insulting someone. If in that case, I'm sorry. Not meant to be insulting. It's just how it sounds to me. It's like just how it sounds to me. Yeah. Oh my god, I've been going for 20 minutes. Yeah, no editing. If you like, tell me you liked. If you don't like, also tell me you didn't like. It's fine. It's fine. You can tell me, look, Francisco, I saw this and I didn't like, and it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay, and I don't. It's okay. And that's it. That's my first vlog. And yeah, have fun. Bye.